Have you ever paused to ask yourself whether what you feel is truly love, or just the fear of not being chosen? Do you genuinely long to connect with another soul, or do you simply need to be seen so that the hollowness inside you doesn't swallow you whole? And what if what you call passion is nothing more than the muffled cry of an inner child who once learned to beg for affection? Almost no one truly wants to love. Almost everyone only wants to be loved. In Carl Jung's view, this is more than an observation. It is a wound, an imprint of the way most of us were conditioned to exist. A belief that our worth could only be confirmed through someone else's voice. You can call it love, desire, or connection, but underneath lies a persistent echo whispering, "See me, choose me, validate me, prove I matter." Perhaps you are exhausted, tired of repeating the same stories, begging for emotional crumbs, losing yourself in the desperate effort to be desired. Tired of walking away from every almost relationship, feeling emptier than before. And yet, like an addict, you keep returning, not for love, but for another dose of illusion. This is not comfort. It is a dirty mirror reflecting the patterns you've unconsciously adopted. But if you've read this far, it's because part of you already knows something is off in the way you love, or, more accurately, in the way you try not to disappear. We are about to confront the scars you thought were healed. We will visit the forgotten childhood, the denied traumas, the fantasies you call romance. Here, love will be stripped of its poetry to reveal the addiction beneath. You say you want to love, but when you are alone, do you truly want to love another, or just to be chosen, so that your existence feels confirmed? Most people do not love. They need to be loved. They are thirsty, not for water, but to be seen. To receive a gaze that silently whispers, "You matter, I see you, I choose you." That is not love, it is desperation. From childhood we are conditioned to earn love. Smile, please, achieve, behave, apologize for taking up space. We internalize the belief, if I am enough, I will be loved. And thus, broken adults are born people who do not seek relationships, but walking approval. Who do not seek love, but the affirmation that they are enough. And this, my dear, is emotional addiction masquerading as romance. Notice how much revolves around the other. The way you dress to be noticed. Answer quickly to avoid being forgotten. Mold yourself to fit another's desires. But it's never truly about the other. It's about filling the emptiness inside. Silencing the voice that screams when you are alone. Taming pain with borrowed affection. Carl Jung taught that real love begins when we stop seeking to be loved and instead learn to love from our own wholeness. But how can you love if you are still trying to prove your worth? How can love arise from someone else's gaze if all you know is the sensation of being chosen as validation? You think you need a relationship, but what you seek is anesthesia. You want someone to rescue you from the chaos inside, a chaos you refuse to face yourself. That is not love. It is escape. Think of the last time someone ignored you, the unanswered message, the sudden disappearance. Do you remember how it crushed you, as if your existence depended on their reply? That is not about them. It's about your reliance on the crutch of validation. Our culture romanticizes lack. Films, songs, social media, they all teach us that love completes us. But if you need to be completed, you admit you are incomplete. You do not love. You need to be chosen. And when you are, relief washes over you for a moment, but it never lasts. The emptiness returns. The doubt returns. The sense that everything could collapse with one absence, one silence, one glance that shifts. You live on the edge of collapse because your worth is built on quicksand. True love cannot grow there. Love does not arise from urgency, it arises from presence. From being whole even when no one chooses you. Yet you remain trapped in the idea that loving is being chosen. That prison is familiar, painful, suffocating, but you call it home. What if I told you this is not home, but a cell? The longing to be loved is the wounded child within, trying to prove it deserves to exist. That child is still waiting, not for love, but for safety, belonging, validation free of conditions. You may be 25, 40, 60. You may have experienced countless relationships, achievements, even healing. But the fragment inside remains, silently pleading, "Please choose me. Please stay. Please tell me I matter." When did you first learn that love must be earned? When your cries were ignored, your affection came only as a reward, or your parents were physically present, but emotionally absent. You grew trying to be acceptable, to smile when you wanted to cry, to please when you wanted to scream. You internalized, "If I'm not enough, I'll be left." And so, emotionally, an orphan was born, a child you continue trying to comfort through every relationship. Carl Jung described this separation as one of the deepest human wounds. That silent fracture forms in childhood and infiltrates every future bond. You think you seek a partner, but deep down, you seek someone to heal your inner child, and no one can. That responsibility is yours. Stop projecting your childhood hunger onto every new love. Stop expecting others to fill a void only you can fill. The child inside wants little only reassurance that you will not abandon it. This is not about being desired. It is about choosing yourself, embracing yourself, and finally breaking the cycle. Real love cannot arise from addiction. Love cannot exist when you give yourself away to fill the emptiness. Confuse attention with oxygen or presence with salvation. People leave not because you love too much, but because you demand they carry a burden only you can bear. The love you crave is not love. It is sedation, escape, relief. But the inner child no longer needs to run. It only needs to be embraced by you, to choose yourself, to realize that you no longer need to be chosen to exist. Until you face this, the cycle will repeat. Notifications, likes, glances, they become your drug, offering fleeting self-worth. And when the source dries up, withdrawal is brutal. You perform, shape-shift, vanish, prostituting your own soul for acceptance. This is not love. This is addiction. Carl Jung foresaw this long before social media. Most people believe love is easy. But what they seek is not love, it's confirmation. They seek desire not to connect, but to quiet shame. They cling, melt, dissolve into another, but this fusion is regression, not connection. It is a return to the womb, a disappearance of self, a desperate attempt to escape themselves. No one can save you from that. No partner can heal your inner child forever. And when they inevitably fail or leave, the collapse feels catastrophic, not because of them, but because your craving was never for love, it was for relief. The path to freedom begins when you stop seeking others to fill the void. You stop romanticizing dependence. You stop confusing passion with addiction. You stop waiting to be chosen and start choosing yourself. Until then, every relationship will be fragile, intense, and destructive. Because the love you crave is not love. It is a sedative for the emptiness you must finally embrace. Repeat this to yourself. I don't need to be desired to exist. Not today, not tomorrow, but until you feel it. Until one day, you no longer wish to be desired, but to be understood. Not to be chosen, but respected. Not the object of desire, but the subject of your own love. This is the beginning of true love. Love not born from hunger, but from abundance. Love that arises when you can exist fully, even if no one is watching. Love that is whole, free, and unchained.